take time to notice all that I see. And after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Our dreams last forever, for all that we know. The roads come together, and that's where we'll go.
For many accolades and celebrations.
I could have done the shades.
Buenos Micronesia, welcome to our daytime edition of our Tuesday, November 5, 2019 show here in our studios in Tumon, Guam. I'm Troy Torres,
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
and we're here to rock the government's world today. we're,
We are.
we're just we're actually testing out the
Internet.
to see if IT&E fixed it. But we also have a lot of news. There was news from last night that we weren't able to get to. There was important stuff that we were able to get to, but we'll repeat today. But first, topping our news tonight
Or
this afternoon.
And then there are. Fuck, I forgot already. Oh, sorry. Freak nasty.
Freak nasty.
Oh.
So
There's 6, so I
You don't remember all of
I
them?
forgot. Yeah.
it's okay. It's all right. It's a dumb class anyway.
Because none of them pertain to me.
No, they do. There's exploders. There's problem solvers. I forgot the second one though.
How are problem solvers angry people?
They want to solve everything.
Oh. Just a few people popped into my head.
Yeah.
Topping our news this afternoon is a story from Saipan, and it makes me angry, just a bit envious that Saipan just seems to have it together in so many ways. Someone I've been following in Saipan's politics is Congressman Ed Probst, who is, now I don't know if he's the only one, but he's the most vocal one. His whole existence as a representative, an elected representative of the people of the CNMI, is corruption. He's the anti-corruption guy. And I haven't heard one of our senators in the Guam legislature stand up as the anti-corruption person, someone who recognizes that it is a gargantuan problem and has dedicated him or herself to the issue of corruption. Congressman Ed Probst, though, in Saipan, because in Saipan they seem to do so many things better than is done in the politics in Guam. Granted, they have their issues.
I thought Saipan's congressman is Kalili, or
Oh no, that's their representative to Congress. But in the Saipan local legislature,
Oh, okay.
they're a bicameral legislature, not like Guam. They have a House of Representatives and they have a Senate.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And so actually, is Probst a congressman or a senator? I think he's anyway. So this is a story in the Saipan Tribune by Erwin Encinares, who wrote, Probst wants prison for overcharging landlords. Gretchen, who not her real name, who shares a tiny studio-type unit with her two siblings, pays her landlord a flat fee of over $400 a month for rent and utilities, which includes internet, water, power, and garbage disposal. Over $80 goes to her power bill. That means she pays her landlord about 43 cents per kilowatt hour a month. The Commonwealth Utility Corporation's residential rate for power use up to 350 kilowatt hours is at 2 cents per kilowatt hour. Nothing that Gretchen usually uses up 210 kilowatt hours a month. She should be paying around only $50 each month, not $80. And that $50 already includes CUC's $7 monthly customer charge for residential areas. If Gretchen is paying based on her actual power consumption and not the inflated rate, she would save about $360 in 12 months. Yet this is not a rare occurrence, but it's actually common practice among landlords who overcharge their tenants' use of electricity by, oh, I know someone who does that, by imposing a higher rate per kilowatt hour. If Representative Edwin K. Probst, independent of Saipan, would have his way, these landlords would go to prison.
Yay.
Probst, who expressed indignation about this malpractice in a Facebook post, told Saipan Tribune yesterday that he has already reached out to CUC Executive Director Gary Camacho, the Office of the Attorney General, and the House Legal Counsel to ask if it were legal to charge tenants a power rate that is well over CUC's power rates. Probst noted that some of his constituents pay nearly 50 cents per kilowatt hour to their landlords, while CUC only charges 2 cents for kilowatt hour levels up to 350 for residential areas. I don't accept that, he said. I believe this is ripping off our own people and this is unconscionable. They are basically already charged rent and then higher usage fees for utilities. That's from Congressman Probst. Probst added that Saipan residents in other precincts are also complaining. He says, it's in Puerto Rico, in Garapan, it's in different places around the island. These landlords are originally not from here, so I don't even understand why they would do this in the first place. Probst noted that he is unsure about the legality of charging more than the CUC power rate. However, he noted that absent legislation preventing this, and if it is not illegal to do so, Probst said he would introduce legislation to make this practice illegal to protect, quote, our people from this robbery, unquote. He goes on to say, I don't just want a fine, I want the person to go to jail for doing this. So, I mean, here's an example of one politician in the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and this is not his first rodeo on this anti-corruption stuff, this corporate greed and all this stuff. This is just part of an entire booklet that this guy has written for Saipan, for the CNMI, in his zeal to get rid of corruption and corporate greed that corrupts the island. Where is that on Guam? Where is that?
You know,
politician?
I was reading this CUC, PUC, whatever they're called. They just signed the contract with that Korean
Did
It
that
went
time-
through.
Just
It went
today?
through.
They signed the contract today?
I think,
Or they're going to sign it today
they're
or
going to sign
something?
it. Senator Clint Rigel was fighting them on this because, first of all, that Korean company, 51% is owned by the Korean government.
Yep.
If we aren't careful, that would mean they're going to have their hands here in whatever's going on here in Guam if we allow that to happen. This should not be happening.
You know who can stop that contract from happening, even though she had no role in pushing the contract, is the governor. Because the governor has to be the final signatory in any contract.
There's something she's buying. She's gonna buy shares in that.
No way. Oh, got it. So,
Her bank's gonna buy some shares into that power company.
if you were the governor, even if the entire
I
GPA,
would stop it.
You would say, I'm not signing that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We need to look into kickbacks. What was given? I really, and Senator Clint Rigel fought this, and he lost. We lost. Guam lost. And it's $164. Or no, that's the water. The what are they called?
The CCU.
There, that one. I'm mixing the two stories. One is for the power plant, and then the other one is to redo some water something, and it's going to cost each customer $164 to do something different with the water company.
Is this the Northern Wastewater Treatment Plant?
Something here, I don't know. That's
Oh.
on the Taitano land.
Yeah, and the Harmon Annex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Northern Wastewater Treatment Plant.
Mm-hmm.
That's secondary wastewater treatment that they're doing. This is so good. So,
It's spicy.
I love it. So, when I was near death,
Twice. Twice near death.
I got a chance to think about this whole issue. There's the 10,000 foot perspective on, just what it is that we do here. Mm-hmm. And it had a lot to do with meeting a lot of people in the hospital who, the general comment was, you guys keep going. You guys keep going,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to expose all these, and then I can't say the words because Facebook will kick us off.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I got today. Don't stop. Can you please tell Troy not to stop because I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm afraid.
Well, it got me to thinking about how we started all this, the fire that was lit under us, that was no longer lighting glass pipes. It got me to think, Governor Lulian Guerrero has really been
Nothing.
I want to be as professional and as decent as possible in this discussion. At least me. You can be whatever you want to be with this cello. Just don't cuss. She's been a disappointment
Yes.
because
I agree.
she came here on a mandate for change. She said she was going to be anti-gambling, pro-family, professional governor. She's going to fix the finances. She is going to fix Guam Memorial Hospital. She is going to take care of so many of the poor. She even told Ray Tenorio, and granted, I don't like that PO, whatever. She told Ray Tenorio.
POS, point of sale.
Yeah, she didn't like that point. She told that point of sale Ray Tenorio that he could not fix the problems that the poor and the working class and the people who live on this island, he could not fix those problems because he was not from here. And that stirred a lot of emotions. It got a lot of people thought, oh, she's right. There were a lot of people who thought, hey, that's very racist. But she made her point that she was going to fix the problems because she's from here.
No,
And she
she's not from here,
understands.
Troy. She's from here.
Exactly. That's exactly where this entire thing has led. That's exactly it, Chalu. It's not It had nothing to do with race and everything to do with class. And
Yeah.
she ain't got any, man.
Yes,
She ain't
and
got any class.
that yes, we talk about amongst us 99%. We talk about how we're gonna make this change, but nothing's gonna change unless that 1% look at each other and tell each other, we have a problem and we need to fix it.
I would like to flush that 1% down the Northern Wastewater Treatment
Me too.
Plant.
Down the
And
toilet.
make things a lot cheaper for the Guam Water Works Authority and the CCU.
Yeah, me too.
Because they're just basura. They're just trash, man.
Yeah, all the back billing that's always I owe, and they don't owe me. I really that's something's wrong with that too.
Think about the promises that were made and the actions that have been taken. You're gonna promise to do something about the economic situation for the working class of this island. Then you're gonna raise taxes and keep taxes at 5%. You're gonna run on this whole platform of, I'm for the small business. I'm for the small business.
She
That's
even
the
had
bus-
people
business.
from the small business do commercials for her. Oh, I really love Auntie Lou. She gave me a loan. Of course she's gonna give you a loan. That is her job.
Keep her at the bank then, so she can give you those loans. My goodness, how
Right.
much sense did
you
that
know,
make?
Auntie Lou helped me, gave me money. She didn't give you money. You pay interest. You have to
You're
pay
giving
every
her money, honey.
dollar back. People, wake up.
So, but it sounded good at the time, and it sounded like she was gonna use that perspective of helping or whatever.
Oh, I'd sleep
as
with
a
myself
leader.
at night as the lesser of two evils.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
I wasn't gonna vote for Ray Tenorio, just hands down wasn't. And I got a fun Joey Uggins story in just a second. Speaking of Ray Tenorio, but she even screwed the small businesses, the supposed backbone of this, and they really are the backbone of this economy. The small businesses screwed them. How many of them are struggling right now on the margins of their profits, or not even their profits, but the revenue that they need in order to pay their employees, and then they're going to negotiate a minimum wage that does nothing, absolutely bonkers nothing for low wage earners. And then
And then she's gonna put she's gonna stand up for someone who turned in the resignation, okay, and go against ethics.
what about the people who did turn in their resignations or were forced to turn in resignations and she didn't even bat an eye?
She's the one that wrote it out for them.
What?
Wrote it out. Here you go. Sign it.
Facts. These are facts. I'm sure that person will come forward with his or her story one day. But just the lopsided nature of this administration and how it's turned its back on the people of Guam. And
Who
then,
voted for her?
Yeah, and look, and then just across the sea, or across the Rota Channel, we see a government in
Fighting
the
for
CNMI.
its people.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot help but feel envy about this. I need to go to envy management class because
They don't have that.
the CNMI is making me envious because their government just seems, I don't know if they have it together, but they seem to be trying. And our government just seems to be doing everything in every way to do bad things, to conceal those bad things, run away from the hot light of public scrutiny when those bad things are exposed. And then when they are exposed, go like this and then continue to do even worse things. What is going on?
It's look at where today this morning I have to go to anger management, right? I went to 2 classes already. That's a whole 2 hours of a teacher that's teaching 2 people
Oh, just 2?
because no one else showed up. And that classroom should have been filled.
Yeah.
They are focusing all on the wrong things down there at probation. It's crazy. I sat there in class and I felt bad for the teacher. There's 2 of us, right? But what that classroom, Guam, the government needs to use their resources better. That classroom should have been filled.
That's not something the government does well. The efficient use and management of resources.
And so I was asked, what do I think the problem is of why the classroom's not filled? And you know what? Those people don't have the resources to get to class.
Yeah. Transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me, I was kind of irritated, and I've been putting off this anger management because I'm like, why are they sending me to anger management? Whatever I pled guilty to is nothing to do. I didn't beat up anybody.
Why
I
are they
didn't.
sending me to anger management?
But I just said, you know what? It's a condition that I have to abide by, and maybe I'll learn something.
Okay.
Maybe I do need it. Maybe I'll just go to the class, Johnny. It's once a week for the next 5 weeks, 2 hours a day. Maybe you'll learn something.
Maybe you and the other person in the class will learn
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's a very good student to teacher ratio.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure the Department of Education would love a student to teacher ratio like that.
That's valedictorian.
You bet.
yeah, I'm gonna be
Cello, you better not be the salutatorian. So I want to contrast this Ed Probst thing with this. Actually, because Johnny was the one who sent this to me this morning. Do you want to do this one?
Yes.
It's a letter to the editor in the Guam Daily Post from Joe Guthrie, who's the former Assistant Attorney General, and for about 20 years, this guy has been writing letters to the editor, but not just to the editor, but to the Attorney General, the federal government, about crimes that have been committed by attorneys.
He didn't send it to the federal government, only to the.
No, but other things he sent.
Okay.
And so this is one of them, and just to contrast this with Saipan, here we go.
Almost 9 months have passed, and the Guam Police Department has not acknowledged receipt of a police complaint submitted on February 1st, alleging corruption at the Guam Office of Attorney General. A copy of the complaint was also sent to Attorney General Levin Camacho on the same date, and he has also not acknowledged, let alone responded to, the complaint. I am Joseph A. Guthrie, a 16-year veteran of the Office of Attorney General who was Deputy Attorney General between 2003 and 2006. I am the person who submitted the police complaint. The police complaint alleges that Attorney Philip J. Tidinko committed the misdemeanors of official misconduct, unsworn falsification, and false statement related to Gov Guam retirement, and that attorneys John Patrick, Matt Mason, Alicia Limtiaco, Alberto Tolentino, John Weisenberger, and Leonardo Rapatis were complicit in all or some of these crimes. The police complaint further alleges, as a result of these 6 government attorneys' conduct, the retirement funds suffered losses in the amount of approximately $535,000, exclusive of loss return on investment, and the general fund suffered losses of approximately $294,000, exclusive of interest, for a total of approximately $829,000. The police complaint seeks restitution of these amounts. The police complaint alleges Mason occupied the position of Deputy Attorney General in charge of the Civil Litigation Division from 1987 to sometime in 2002. Sometime in 2002, Mason left the AG's office and commenced working as an attorney for the Guam Department of Education. The police complaint further alleges that sometime in 2003, Mason became eligible for an annuity from the Gov Guam Retirement Fund. On January 10, 2004, Mason retired from GDOE and began private practice at a private law firm and commenced to receive annuity while working in private practice. Unhappy in private practice, Mason wanted to return to the position he formerly occupied at the AG's office, that of Deputy Attorney General in charge of the Civil Litigation Division. According to the police complaint, Mason knew that if he returned to the AG's office as an employee, his annuity would be suspended during the term of his reemployment pursuant to statute. However, Mason also allegedly knew that if he returned to the AG's office as an independent contractor, his annuity would not be suspended after his return to the AG's office. On January 2007, Mason signed the contract between himself and AG's office. The contract purported to be an independent contract, but Mason allegedly knew it would be a sham contract, insofar as the services of Deputy Attorney General contemplated to be provided under the contract by the signatories could, under applicable statute, temporary law, and personnel rule, only be legally provided by an unclassified employee and not an independent contractor. The contract was also allegedly a sham contract because no request for proposal soliciting the interests of other potential independent contractors was issued before the contract was signed, contrary to the Guam procurement law. It's a lot. There's a lot more.
So this dude Joe Guthrie provides all of these details
Everything.
of a corrupt act,
Everything.
and he has been providing
They don't even need
details
to do
of
the
this corrupt act.
investigation. It's done for them.
Exactly, and officials aren't doing anything about it. And in Saipan, Congressman Ed Probst puts up a Facebook post about his concern for people who are getting screwed by their landlords. And there's an entire news story about it. There's an investigation, the legislative investigation now underway, including legislation that he's preparing to rectify this situation in case it might not be illegal. Action is being taken to correct corrupt acts,
To make it illegal.
to make things right.
You can go to jail.
He wants them to go to jail, yo. And here we have laws that already
In
guarantee
place.
that people will go to jail for doing these bad things. And what I don't understand what the difference is between people who've lost their way and do drugs and get caught in their cars with a pipe with residue, and they go to jail like this, and people who steal using their official authority as government officials from the government of Guam, and they don't, not even an investigation ensues on them. But you know what? There is a difference. One of them is that the drug user was a private citizen doing something privately that didn't hurt anyone. And the official who was stealing from the government used an official position to steal from all of the taxpayers and hurt all of the taxpayers and the programs that they rely upon. Now tell me which one deserves to go to jail more. This isn't rocket science for our legislators and for the governor in her role as the executor of the laws to figure out. And yet here we are with the absence of a corruption force on this island.
What was Levin's excuse? Oh, we don't have anybody in the white collar crime area right now.
Well, get someone. Get someone then. The Attorney General's
I'm
office.
pretty sure we have great lawyers out there that are willing to become part of this board because they're tired too.
They keep saying there's this ethics commission. Yeah, sure. What are they doing? You appointed an ethics commission, and what? So what? Where's the action?
Oh no, but we want to make a banking commission and a insurance commission.
Hold on one second. Let me just read this thing that's coming in. Got it. Got it, friend. Okay. So normally we start out with the soft stuff and then we go into the hard stuff. And there are two more hard stories that we'll get to at the end of the live cast. But let's go back to how we normally start the show and with some soft stuff, including a fun little story about police officer Josefina Uggan.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw her at oh shoot, did I give you the picture, Prim?
The three?
The one of police officer Joey Uggan. You know, the one that looks like a girl?
don't know where's eyeliner?
You might have it in the TriCaster, right? Well, it's not coming up now. First, we need the white car.
Okay. No, Chula, I don't have that.
Darn.
Where's
Maybe I
it
can
at?
find it. It's like buried in my Facebook.
With him with the eyeliner?
Yeah. Oh, FBI friend, can you send me that picture? But can we get up the white car? So a few days ago, or actually now it's been a couple of weeks, right? A couple of weeks ago, is it a Kia or is it a Hyundai? I can't remember.
One of the two.
This Kia or Hyundai
I'm not sure.
white car driving through the road where BP Carbolito Elementary School is in Barragata, license plate Suman 3688, ran over a dog that was that got loose from its owner. The owner was running after it. She ran over this dog, and if that weren't bad enough, she didn't stop.
A golden retriever, right?
Yeah, it was a golden retriever. She didn't stop. She just kept going on her cell phone, laughing. Now, there are choice words that I have for this woman that apparently we can't use because Facebook will send us to jail. But this is a monster, and she needs to be found. Her license plate is Tuman 3688. If you see this woman driving on the road, now remember, it was, I mean, lucky it was just a dog, you know, and I know dog lovers are going to kill me for saying it's just a dog. But could you imagine if Marlene Ewelied it, because that's what she was doing, driving in a school zone at greater than 15 miles per hour? What if it was a kid from BP Carbolito who she ran over and just left, laughing on her cell phone? She's not even supposed
There
to
was
be.
another incident in Tultu. I got a phone call.
Of hitting a dog?
Yeah. The family came home. A van was driving 80 miles per hour, and there was a kid riding a bike.
Oh my gosh.
The car swerved and ran over their dog.
Oh my gosh.
So they chased that lady down.
Did they beat her up?
No.
Oh.
They found her at the apartment complex. The lady said she'll call the police, right? The lady that owned the van. So the police came. So they went home. They waited for the police there. The police drove down and said that they already talked to the lady and there's really nothing.
Oh, there's
that
nothing to do?
Yeah.
That she was driving at 80 miles an hour.
So I told the lady, I said, that video you have of that lady driving 80 miles per hour, you can go file a complaint so they can issue her a ticket. But instead of the officer being the one at the court, it's going to be you.
Yeah.
So hopefully she got that done.
Can she give us the video and the names of the police officer who didn't do
She has
his
all of
job?
that. I gave her your phone number.
Okay.
Because that's why she called. She knew that your father passed away and didn't want to bother you. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because I really want to know, like, it's very important, people, when you feel that there's been an injustice done to you by the Guam Police Department, that you get the name of the police officer.
The lady that, the owner of the dog, she started crying when she said, if that was the reason why, if her dog died to save that person's life that was driving the bicycle, but that lady was speeding down I guess it's just a two-way road or whatever.
Is this
Told
Roy
you-
Damian Street?
It's the same lady, the one where the dog got excited and ran out, and someone chased it, or someone ran it over just recently, and then
It's her dog?
Yeah, this is her second dog.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They
I'm
should just
so
put
sorry.
speed bumps all over that road, bump, 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 bump,
I think there are.
or put hollow blocks in a black trash bag, put it out on the road, and
2x4 with nails.
Or someone with a gun.
no gun.
Oh,
Water gun.
a water gun, allegedly.
Allegedly.
What is wrong with some people?
That's what I
Honestly.
told her to do. She needs to write her complaint for everything from when it started to the end. Walk it into wherever she needs to walk it into. If she wants us to help her, we can do that. Just come by the office. But it's gonna be her that has to be the one that goes to the court hearing.
And she doesn't want to go to her mayor because her mayor's a drunk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Mayor Rudy Paco.
Momo, they also had problems with their water over the weekend.
What happened?
It's all brown, and even though the family ran the water for 1 hour, it was still brown.
Get out. They have Hanum Taki?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's your cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hanum Taki. I hope we haven't returned to those days. I mean, that'd be like a double A star for Democratic administrations. Last time we had Hanum Taki was in the Guterres administration. First Democrat administration since, and we have it again. Great job, Democrats.
Guam is just giving you what you're giving them. Right? You get what you give. If you give Taki, you're going to get Taki.
Great freaking job, Democrats, at administering the. You know, management is not for everyone.
It's not. It really isn't.
Administration was probably like, they don't like me. Release.
Release the Taki. True story about Hanum Taki. Is that the 2010 gubernatorial election? It was at the Great Debates in the general election, and of course, the entire thing back then was Eddie Calvo is Eddie Pepsi, rich guy. That's really like, oh, good job, Chelu.
I got that at KFC.
Well, at least it's a good prop for today's little story about politics.
I got that at KFC, yo.
So
That's the only cup they gave me.
Eddie Calvo kept talking about how when Carl Gutierrez was governor, there was Hanum Taki, and how Governor Camacho had to clean it up. Which is a true story in itself. And so Governor Gutierrez came back during the Guam Medical Association debates, and he said, you know, Eddie Calvo, you keep talking about Hanum Taki, but you know what? You're not telling everybody that when you were in charge of Pepsi, there was an E. coli break, an E. coli break and you were selling Hanum Taki to, at least my Hanum Taki was free. You were bottling it and selling it for $1.29. And it was a good comeback, right? And Eddie Calvo was very bothered by that. And then he remembered something. He was like, son of a, like he was really mad. But he remembered, he was like, son of a, biscuchu. Yeah. Son of a
biscuchu.
He really said the thing, right? But I remember what happened. And so in the great debates, he came back with a retort. And it was, and I can't remember exactly how he said it, was actually pretty beautiful. And it was like a zinger, But what he basically told the entire audience was the reason that Pepsi bottled Hanum Taki on that one day was because the water that cleans the bottles came from Guam Water Works Authority. The Hanum Taki actually came from the free government of Guam. Yeah, it was a thinger. And true story about Hanum Taki, I cannot believe, if that is true, that stuff is flowing out of the faucets of MTM. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Those are living in the caveman days already. The Romans 2,000 years ago were able to provide clean water.
Yeah.
And aqueducts for the outflow system.
I think maybe GW needs help learning how to make iodine crystals. I can help.
Allegedly.
No. True facts. True facts. Facts. Okay?
It's if you act on it, right? Mm-hmm. Then the statute of limitations goes
It
on.
is not
for 3
illegal
years.
to make iodine crystals.
No, I'm talking about the other components of whatever.
Oh, I'm not even talking. Who was talking about that? I'm not even talking about that.
Prim was.
I didn't hear the iodine part.
So I went to we ran out of coffee here. So I went to Circle K earlier to get Eric, Temi, and I this wonderful. You want some?
No.
This one? Oh yeah,
I
have
don't want to get
pneumonia. That's right.
Yeah.
And as I was walking in, this ugly lesbian was walking out with a gun. And
What?
I still don't have it.
it was, oh no, I never sent it, and our FBI friend didn't send it. It was police officer Joey Uggins.
Prim, we have that picture.
I don't know where it is.
You just put it up. When they were having lunch. You just put it on your Facebook.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me get to that. Where am I here? Son of a biscuchu. Well, anyway, so I was walking in. He didn't even hold the door open for me.
Of course.
What kind of tomorrow is that?
He's a girl. You're supposed to hold the door open for her.
So he just swung it open.
He saw that it was you. Yeah. Oh my God! What a freaking punk!
And so I go, "Oh, hello."
Yeah, Troy would.
He didn't even say hello back. What kind of? That's not nice. That's not what did I ever do to you? Let's talk about that. You know, Joey Uggan and all of your girlfriends from the former Mandania Drug Task Force, which was disbanded because you guys are idiots.
Yeah, you know, Chris Champion's all over magistrates, pulling over people with a pipe, an empty baggie.
Well, I'm sure whoever's allowing him to do that is going to have their day in court. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's not a secret to the higher-ups at the Guam Police Department that Chris Champion is under federal investigation, and why they would give him so much access to violate people's civil rights and
Baffles me.
to rob evidence. It shouldn't. It doesn't just baffle us. It's an affront to justice. But Joey Uggan, Chris Champion,
And Kylie Maurer
that's
also.
the fat girl's name.
She also just pulled over somebody at one of the parks down in Assen.
How did she get out of the water? Where she was wailing around.
I don't know.
You know, she looks like Joanne Brown's daughter. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
She looks like Joanne Brown birthed her over at SeaWorld. She's like baby Shamu.
Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark. They even have a remix.
I'm never gonna get to that picture because I share everything like
Okay,
I share
never
like a
mind.
billion things. I'm never gonna get to that Joey Uggan picture, but so you know Joey Uggan, you like to step on my friends' necks. You like to go around town like you're the big lesbian dog. You like to violate people's civil rights, steal their stuff along with your fellow girlfriends, Keon Pangilinan, Chris Champion. Where is Sangto? That guy's been so
He's
quiet.
On patrol down south.
Not doing anything wrong? How come we haven't heard about any wrongdoing he's been doing?
He's smart because his enemy is the governor now, is the administration. So he's
Oh, that's
being
right.
smart.
That's right.
Remember, he's like, I better lay low, or else I'm gonna lose my job.
Oh, the picture came in. Hold on. Am I-
Yes,
That's the other
it
thing.
should be there on your. Open it on your.
How do I?
computer.
Oh
It's
yeah,
there.
yeah. When don't go to my computer yet because.
We're gonna get fired.
This is the other thing I wanted to say about this guy, Joey Uggan, is that he was on this task force to rid the island of drugs and blah 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 blah.
I
blah.
think me and him we went to Bishop together.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
That's
He was a little guy.
well. He really looks like a lesbian. Look at that. Go ahead. He really looks like a lesbian. This is an unfiltered picture too. Like we didn't our crew didn't put a filter on this. That's really how he looks. But when I saw him today, he looked much worse. So he's gained some weight. His eyes are really dented in. Like there's he hasn't had much sleep. His skin does not look like that 22-year-old lesbian anymore. His skin looks more like he's been going to Home Depot and has been out in the garden, and the termites have been biting him. He looks like he's on drugs, honest to God. It really does. And we know that a couple people who were on the Mandania Drug Task Force were drug users as well. I don't know if Joey Uggan is a drug user. He looks like one though. I just thought, that's it's so ironic how these people.
They said you're using a pipe and you weren't, so touche.
Well, they're dumb. I mean,
They're if they can accuse you of using a pipe, you can accuse them, right?
They're just dumb. That's all they are. But I wanted to say something about, because we were talking earlier about the fire that sort of started this whole Candid thing, and a lot of it had to do with this Mandania Drug Task Force, and lest any of them. I know we're quiet about them sometimes.
That no longer exists.
Well.
Thank you.
Oh, you mean? Oh, the Mandania Drug Task
Yeah,
Force. Oh, I thought
yeah.
you meant
The fire?
The fire.
Oh no, it's trust me.
Let me tell you something about that fire. Earlier today, I got a phone call from someone who was saying that the typical we have to keep on, and I thought, yeah, we really do, because at the very least, I'm not done with my vendetta against the former Mandania Drug Task Force, and people like Joey Uggan, Chris Champion, Kylie Maurer, Keon Pangilinan, Peter Paulino, Jean Egros. Oh, how could I forget about her? Sangto, Steve Munoz.
I thought Peter was a nice guy.
He arrested me.
He didn't want to. They told him to. Remember?
I'm kind of not believing that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They all need to burn. So.
I'm not trying to dummy down your. I'm
Oh, no.
I'm as mad as you are.
No. Well, we have to have these discussions about people just so we don't burn the wrong bridges and stuff. But it's okay. We're burning that bridge down, and it all comes back to this thing about karma, and how sometimes karma needs a little push. Sometimes karma is slow, and I want to introduce you guys to Karma. You guys have probably never seen a picture of Karma before, but she's our adopted daughter. And Prim, can you show everyone how beautiful she is? Yeah, isn't she cute? She's a very.
I hate it when I wake up and I open our chat group and that's the first picture I see. I say, "Oh, today is the day."
Isn't she beautiful? Now, she has been growing over the past couple of years into a very spirited, very patient,
Super patient.
daughter, fruit of my loins. And I just want to say that the fire that she is bringing, Karma's assistants are. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Nice.
there we go.
And that is the assistant to the assistant.
So lest these officers forget their place in this world, I just want to remind them that justice ain't done. Now, on that note,
And I went to anger management.
on that note, there is the super serious issue of a missing boy named Gabriel Ferreira. Can you go back to my screen? This was 20 hours ago. Gardenia Ferreira posted about her brother, who is 14 and has been missing since October 30. He was last seen in the Mataguac area wearing a red shirt and gray pants. I've reached out to Sergeant Paul Tapal to ask what's going on with this case, and he hasn't responded back, so we're going to make a live call. This is the great thing about day shows, is we can make live calls. And this is not going to be the last of the live calls today. Let me just... Hi, is this Christy?
Hi, yes.
Hi, is the chief there? This is Troy Torres.
Hi, Troy.
Hi.
He actually left to a 1:30 meeting.
Okay, so wow, the chief is never in his office whenever we try to call or get an appointment.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, we'll be heading down there soon to just get an interview. So, is there anyone there we can talk to regarding a missing child complaint?
Lieutenant Amaquin's here.
May we
Would you
speak with him,
like to
please?
speak with him?
Yes, thank
one
you.
moment. You're welcome.
Can you follow up on my card too? Since we have them on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Half-day office of the Chief of Police, Lieutenant Morgan speaking. Help you.
Hi, Lieutenant Amaguin. This is Troy Torres and Johnny Rosario.
Sir, yes, sir. How may I help you, sir?
We saw this post that the police have been notified about a 14-year-old boy named Gabriel Ferreira who is missing since October 30. Is there any information about this boy? Has he been found, or what's going on?
Missing. Have no knowledge about that case. When was that case?
His name is Gabriel, Gabriele, Ferreira, Ferreira. He was last seen in the Mataguac area, last seen wearing a red shirt and gray pants, missing since October 30. And according to the woman who provided the information, the police were notified.
He's missing since October 30 or November 30?
October 30.
November.
No, October. Missing since October 30.
Oh, October.
Okay, let me check, because if it was indeed a missing person, we should have put out a flyer. But there's unless the officer classified that case as a beyond control, then we don't usually put out a beyond control flyer. So depending on what the investigation was all about, then,
Okay.
we should have at least put out a missing person report. Because when we're dealing with minors, officers have to, when they respond to the scene, some parents may think that it's a missing person, but depending on how the investigation was conducted and whatever the outcome of the investigation, there's a good possibility the officer may probably have found out during the course of investigation that he was a beyond control complaint.
You mean like a child running away or something?
Possibly, yes. So I can't really say so much. I can just speculate at this time, because I didn't see any flyer that came out from our side, and that I can recall anyway.
Who determines between the classification of missing person and beyond control? Is it the reporting officer?
The reporting officers, depending on how the investigation was conducted, especially if the minor has a history of running away before,
Okay.
right? Or there's any type of indication that the person has just gone missing, and this is the first time that the minor has done so. And I'm not even going to go towards the abduction side, because this is another different aspect of the story, investigations.
Okay. Well, the other thing, Lieutenant Amagon, wanted to ask about was regarding the ongoing situation with the car that was stolen from Johnny.
Let me give him. I'm gonna give him the police report number.
Oh, she has the police report number, and we're just following up on it to see if the chief or whoever he's designated has done anything with the situation.
Do you happen to have the case number?
Yeah, and the car is supposed to be within the custody of the Guam Police Department. It was stolen by Sean Johnson, the guy that was recently nabbed for prison contraband.
Uh-huh.
And the police report number is...
20.
1 second, we're looking at it right now.
Oh, I can't see it, Troy.
We'll email it to you because we can't enhance the screen right now.
So it was a stolen vehicle
Here,
report.
16-29433.
Yeah, 16-29433.
So it was Was it stolen?
Yes.
And recovered by the officers?
Yes. No, I recovered it and then I called 911 and then Benny Babalta took it and they said they were doing the investigation and I've been trying to follow up on this and nobody's answering me.
Yeah, it's been 3 years the car's
Almost.
been sitting.
But
No, but you're saying that the vehicle was recovered?
yes, I
Right.
found it. It got stolen from me. I reported it stolen. I found it on the road and I called 911. Benny Babalta came and called a wrecker and took the car. So if this
Okay,
is the
so-
police report number. Could
Yes, I will take a look at it and see what was what's the outcome of the investigation.
Okay, thank you, Officer Amaguen.
Because I cannot really make comment on the case because it might be still an ongoing investigation.
Okay,
Okay, so can I call you guys back in regards to that case, though?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
I.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.
Lieutenant Steve Amaguen is the
Robert
special
Light.
assistant to the is the special assistant to the chief of police. They also call it the SACOP. He's kind of like the number 2 at the Guam Police Department, and he's
always available.
yeah
for us.
he's the only person who's always been responsive to our calls. So we're very thankful to him about that. Sergeant Paul Tapau just responded while we were on the phone with him that he's going to
course.
check.
Of course. Of course.
Oh my goodness.
What?
No, it's just anyway.
I also was reading. There's something here. Hold on. That concerned me,
Okay.
and
This coffee is legit. It's like it feels like a what?
never mind. Go ahead. I forgot.
So
Oh, there.
What?
GVB, anonymously written allegations will be taken seriously, says
what's
the
that?
lady that is supposed to be investigated.
what? What is that?
They're complaining about GVB's boss.
Oh, Pilar
and-
LaGuardia?
Yes.
I'm not surprised. Okay.
And it was an anonymous letter written.
Okay.
So of course the lady, the boss the letter's complaining about is saying they're gonna take it seriously and look into the allegations.
Oh, they're gonna police themselves.
Yeah.
She's gonna police herself.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job, GVB. Good job.
Good job, Leon Guerrero administration. You guys are just stellar examples
But people-
of great management.
But people, you, all I can say is you guys need to wake up because people are getting tired of the BS. Anonymous letters being written in, even letters being written in with their name and social security number and birthday, just to let you know, here we are. We want to tell on you because you guys just seem to not care.
Yeah. And remember, let's put up the picture of Karma again. Remember. I just love her. Warms my heart, facsimile. So, yesterday or last night,
Josh Tenko is back there.
back at GVB.
Yeah, it says GVB spokesman Josh Taikenko.
Oh, congratulations, Josh.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened. Okay, anyway. So last night we brought.
Hired Kerrigan and PNC. That's what happened.
Ew. That's right.
Be nice.
No. I can't stand Kevin Kerrigan. He's at PNC?
He's not at the Post anymore.
Oh, good job to the Post.
Cousin Ray was talking about your article last night about the 7.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Oh.
Yeah, we are.
I was excited when I was listening on the way to.
That's our top story.
Oh, okay.
Our top story is the 7 senators who, and we're gonna make some fun calls in this daytime edition of Candid News. So stick around for that, please. First, we have a Candid News project or program. I was talking to you guys last night about how a few days ago
You
I
saw
saw
the
this.
girl.
Yeah, I saw this little girl who was walking from there's this dilapidated 3-story structure behind the office.
I have a lot of stuff at home.
Oh,
that I
thank
can
you,
get.
thank you. And I saw some people who are willing to donate as well. So we're gonna have a Christmas toy drive, a Christmas gift drive for the homeless kids here in Tucumán, and they mainly live in this dilapidated structure, and at the Royal Palm remnants, that parking lot that still
Yeah.
exists from the Royal Palm Hotel. And the great news is that Tumaning Mayor Luis Rivera has agreed to be Santa Claus.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. And so Candid is going to do this collection drive for Christmas gifts for kids. Now, if you want to get Christmas gifts for the adults too, you're more than welcome to. If you want to give them money. And here's the thing. I'm not one of those people who really cares what my money is spent on when I give it to a homeless person. I know that there are people who get upset about everything. Okay?
Yeah, I'm looking for my cigarettes.
Oh, okay. I know there are people who get upset about homeless people using money to buy their cigarettes or buy their beer or whatever. Those things actually don't concern me because it's not like we all don't kind of do those things too. So.
We also keep our area safe.
So, unlike the complaints that you normally get about homeless people, maybe in Agania or parts of Deredo, people who don't have a place to live and who seek refuge in Tumon, they actually keep this place a little safe. They watch out for people's cars, and they stop fights from drunken people at night, because Tumon's like the hot spot for the clubs and all that stuff. But truth be told, some clubbers are way more dangerous than homeless people who walk through Tumon because, even if they're drunk, they're by and large peaceful. Like, I haven't myself seen much of an issue with homeless people here. Anyway, there are kids. Despite all of that, despite the politics of homelessness and all of that stuff, there are kids who live in these homeless structures because they don't have a place to go. And I just cannot imagine the community doing nothing for them on Christmas. So we don't have enough money to buy Christmas gifts for all of these kids, but we're going to pitch in personally ourselves to get some gifts for these kids, and we are asking if you could help as well by donating gifts to, you can bring it to our offices here at Candid News Group or at Candid Incorporated in Tumon near the Akansa Mall behind Fuji Ichiban. It's the only house on this road. Or we can pick it up from you as well. We'll wrap the gifts for you. And on Christmas Day, Mayor Luis Rivera is going to deliver these gifts to these kids. And she's also going to be coordinating a meal, a Christmas meal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so thank you, Mayor Luis Rivera.
And also my
For that wonderful
daughter's
thing.
school is having a Thanksgiving drive for the kids
Oh,
that
yeah?
don't have much there.
Upi Elementary?
So of course my daughter wants to take everything because the school, my kids are very like if they see someone in need, like they start tearing, and it like freaks me out because I'm not that sensitive, right? But I do every time I'm at a stop sign and I see someone, whatever change I have, if I have dollar bills, sometimes a guy up there, I was walking out with our dinner, and he thought it was leftovers, but it was our dinner, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this isn't leftovers, but here's $10, because that was the change. So Johnny Girl opened the cabinet and wants to take all of our canned goods. and
That's
give it-
expensive stuff, man.
I know. And I'm like, Johnny, wait.
You're gonna
Mom,
stop at the Palm
Wait,
corned
like
beef,
this.
okay?
Wait, she's like, Mom, you don't want to help the kids, Mom. I'm like, I do. I swear I do.
Mother Teresa says, if you give until it hurts, there can be no hurt, only love.
Amen.
Yeah. and that palm corned beef will hurt.
They can have it. They can have it.
Someone was making a big deal about
Just goes to
oxen.
my butt.
Someone was making a big deal about oxen palm corned beef at some store, and I was like, oxen palm? Man, you do not know corned beef. It's palm, MRFers. Palm corned beef. That's what everyone should be eating. Oxen palm. You're not poor. Jeez.
Corned beef ain't cheap, bro.
No, I
It's
know.
like almost $4 a can.
Poor
And at
pe-
my
poor-
house, we need 3 cans.
Poor people don't eat cheap. They know what's the right corned beef. They know that the spam is the luncheon meat and not the actual spam. We know the good stuff. So anyway, yes, we're having a Christmas drive any day of the week from now until December 24. You can bring your Christmas gifts here. You can bring your Christmas gifts to Mayor Luis Rivera at the Tuning Mayor's office. We'll figure out who's going to wrap whatever. You can bring a wrap. No, actually, I think that we would prefer that the gifts were not wrapped, so we can just make sure that there isn't something really messed up being given to the kids.
Yeah. And then we're blamed.
Like
Yeah, and then we're blamed. Yeah.
objects or some weird people out here.
Like no drugs, no,
No
Sean
weapons.
Johnson objects,
No weapons.
no red tutus for Sean Johnson, or phallic objects that are a foot long for Sean Johnson. These are for kids, people. Toys, stuffed animals, stuff like that. Nice stuff. Where was I going with this? Oh, our top stories. But can we just take like a minute break or something? Just a minute, guys, so that we can regroup. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
I'll ride with the horses, I'll swim through the sea, I'll climb to the mountain tops. Won't you come follow me? I'll take time to notice all that I see, and after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Our dreams last forever. that we know. The roads come together, and that's where we'll go.
So the focus of our story today is, Gil and Connie Joe Shinohara and what they're up to with 7 senators in the Guam legislature who may be bought out. And we're going to reveal all of their names tonight. They really have all of the working day today to finally get back to Candid News about where they stand on Senator Selena Nelson's bill to get rid of Liberty machines.
It's not only the senators, Cello. It's also the governor.
Oh, yeah. Well, the governor's already said that she's against the bill
Well,
already.
and what got me in that post, I believe in the Post or PDN, was the governor saying, "Oh, it's too that's a early bill. We should wait for the courts." Let me tell you something about the courts. If there's a judge there that does not recuse herself, we know about that too. We also have pictures of what judges are involved.
It's a justice too, right?
Yes.
It's like a chief justice.
And yes, it's one of the
Close associates
of these people.
yes.
We have pictures of them. So, if the governor's thinking, "Oh, guys, let's just wait," because they know the outcome already, that will blow up as well.
You know, God, it's so sad to think that even our judiciary is corrupted, because it's the one branch of the government that you forever and ever, the legislative branch and the executive branch, you expect it to fall to the political whims of corruption. Sadly, that's the expectation. But the people have always had the comfort of knowing that there was a third branch of government that hopefully would not be corrupted. But because of people like Dan Tidinko, who started a lot of the corruption that has existed at the judiciary
Since the 70s.
when he was
he's
the
been-
director of policy, you know?
Yeah.
So sad, so sad. And some of those judges aren't even qualified to be judges. It's FYI, I've seen the selection process, and it really is all politics.
You know who I would love to talk to about this? Carl Gutierrez. I would love to hear what he has to say. I'm pretty sure he would have a lot of good insight into
Yeah?
this.
I'm pretty sure. He appointed many of those judges, but some of them have already retired.
Not about the judges, about this whole game room and the backstabbing
Oh, yeah.
that occurred.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Carl Gutierrez would have a lot to say about the backstabbing that occurred.
Yes.
That led to a lot of the politics involved with the game rooms.
Yes.
And the legality of those game rooms in 2013, when lots of people turned their back on Carl Gutierrez and pledged their support to Eddie Calvo just
Yeah.
so that these game rooms can exist. True story. So, Candid released this story last night. Candid News has confirmed that representatives of the game room industry have been. Can we post up the pictures? Have been making their rounds and getting commitments from lawmakers to vote against Senator Selena Nelson's bill that would ban their blood money once and for all. Candid has obtained the list of 7 senators who have given their commitments to the game room owners, and while the list would shock many island residents, it certainly won't shock those who frequent the game rooms. Candid has the names of all 7 and have been informed that at least 2 of the senators are well known at the game rooms. In fact, one of the senators who has sold his vote to the blood money profiteers is actually quite lucky at the game rooms and is often seen cashing out his loot. A former manager of one game room tells us that this senator, who for now until today shall remain anonymous, but just so all know, we plan to release his name now and should have reported his winnings as supplemental income in his financial disclosure form tomorrow, which is today, we bring light to the darkness. Now, we're not going to release all 7 names, but right now we're going to release that one. It's Senator Joe San Augustine. So this is like, when the ransomers cut off the finger and send it to.
Yeah.
So this is us sending the finger to the legislature.
Or the ear.
Whatever.
Listen.
If you don't think that we're serious about your names, senators, or that we actually know about the meetings that occurred between you and Gil Shinihara, or the conversations with Connie Jo Shinihara, the deputy manager of the seaport, we don't make idle threats. I mean, I'm sure you know that by now.
And I do want the public to know. I want everybody to know. All of our friends, all of our family, everybody suffering from this. What do we call it?
Disease.
Yeah,
Gambling.
this disease. It's not us going out there looking for these things. It's you, the people, coming to Candid and letting us know. So I just want to say thank you for being brave, and we don't mind being the voice behind or in front of you at all.
Yeah, we don't.
We have no special interests.
Karma again? Chelu, Karma?
Stand by.
It's kind of fun, actually, doing this.
Look at your face.
Senators, I swear to God, we're not fooling around on this issue. We haven't let it go. We're actually quite propelled by the fact that Vice Speaker Selena Nelson introduced this bill because it brings the political class to a crossroads. Now, with the governor saying that she's against this bill,
But all she's saying, it's too juvenile for Talina to write this bill. We should just wait for the courts. Yes, I want to wait for the courts. Because if the people that are supposed to vote on this hand down their judgment, what is it called? At the Supreme Court, if those people who are involved with these families do not step away, then we know that the corruption's over there at the judiciary as
oh,
well.
so you want it exposed first,
Who?
the corrupt over at the court.
Yeah.
You want to know where they stand, and then you
Yes.
want the bill to go through.
Yes.
Well, we'll see. That is a good play.
But if you want to handle it another way, Cello, I mean,
No.
you're better at this than I am. I'm just saying, we are aware. I want everybody to know. I want them to know we are aware of the relationships.
However, these Liberty machines go away, I'm good with it.
Okay.
However, whether it's through the court or through the legislature, I have to just give a lot of credit to, and there's a third option that I want to talk about. I just want to give a lot of credit to Senator Talina Nelson and to the 6 combined who have already stepped up against these Liberty machines. Let me go back to where that story is so we can get their names and then post up their pictures so that you guys can see. In candidnews.com, you guys will be able to see these stories. And it was just 5 days ago that we posted regarding answers that have come back from senators who are now in support of Senator Talina Nelson's bill. Numerous senators have come forward and said they stand in support of a bill introduced this week that would ban the gambling machines inside game rooms across the island. On Monday, Vice Speaker Talina Cruz Nelson introduced Bill number 226, which would make Liberty machines explicitly illegal and pass into law. The bill will strike the entire section on poker-style machines and carnival gambling from the gaming rules and regulations. The bill will also outlaw pachinko, video horse or greyhound race machines, and other similar gambling devices. Therese Terlahi today stands firm against the gaming machines littering our island and indicated she had expected the new administration to revoke all of the licenses. Can we get her pretty picture up? Ms. Terlahi was responding to not her pretty. That ain't no pretty picture right there.
Go to your
Maybe
screen.
cast to my screen. Terlahi was responding to Candid News requests for reaction from lawmakers on whether they support Bill number 226. We specifically asked all senators, do you support the bill? This is a yes or no question. Mr. Lahi responded to us saying, I have not yet reviewed the bill, but I do not support illegal gaming machines on Guam. I support the Attorney General's continued suit against Reverend Tax's illegal licensing of the machines. I had expected, listen to this is a very strong statement that she makes. I had expected with the change of administration that the new DRT director would revoke the licenses in conformance with AG opinion and Guam law. Unfortunately, no license was revoked. Mr. Lahi said she had been closely following the litigation over the game room machines ongoing in the Supreme Court of Guam. This is something she sent on Thursday, which was Halloween. She says, I plan to attend the hearing in that case scheduled for today, but I was just notified that the court has postponed today's October 31 hearing to December 5 at 2 p.m. Senator Sabina Perez, she's the lady on the left, responded yes, that she supports Bill number 226. Senator Regine Bisco-Lee, she's the woman in the middle, also supports banning the game room machines and told Candid News, quote, while I am still reviewing Bill 226, I support the measure in concept, unquote. Senator Clint Rigel also stands against the game room machines. He said, quote, I support shutting down Liberty machines and similar electronic gambling devices as they are contrary to Guam's gaming laws. I do not support shutting down Carnival Gaming, as that is not contrary to Guam's gaming laws. Bill 226-35 seeks to eliminate both. Should the bill's scope be limited to Liberty machines and other similar electronic gambling devices, I will support it. This is something I have discussed with Senator Nelson, unquote. Senator James Moylan said, quote, while I still have some questions on Bill 226, I do support the legislative intent. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 senators who have positive reviews for Bill number 226 and likely will vote for Bill number 226. Now with Senator Rigel, there might be a poison pill in the bill for him, and that would be the carnival gambling. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's something that he can resolve with Senator Tulina Nelson, and
I hope they look at the totality of it, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just saying no just for that one particular
and
portion.
not consider that a poison pill. Yeah. Hopefully. And I hope that in whatever ways Gil Shinihara is trying to get at Senator Clint Rigel, that he sees through that BS.
And I hope that the people that are accepting money from these, from them, understand where that money is really coming from.
Let's call one of them.
Do you have Will Castro's picture? Prim?
No.
Yeah, you put it in a folder.
Prim, I don't have it, Prim.
Check your folders.
I did. I was for the other senator.
It's
We
on the,
put it
it's
under
on-
another
it's on-
name.
It's on the Wix folders.
No, Prim, we saved it there under another name. Wilhelmina.
Never mind, he's not answering. Hold on, let's call the next senator.
Found it?
This one.
Okay, Tello's going up. Or Tello's next. Maybe they're in session?
No, I didn't get that YouTube notice thing.
Did you find it, Prim?
No, she ain't answering. Hold on, next one.
They're probably watching right now. I ain't answering Troy. And they all just texted each other. Troy calling. Don't answer.
This is too funny.
Is what they're doing called lobbying?
Yeah. You mean Gil Shinihara and Connie Joe? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not only those two, but
What kind of number is 969?
it's a house or landline.
Landline? Oh.
Oh, your line.
Hi, I'm sorry. Is this Senator Luis Borja Munoz's office? May I please speak with the senator?
Sorry, the senator is not available right now. Can I take a message?
May I speak with the senator's chief of staff?
This is he. This is James.
Oh, hi, James. This is Troy Torres and Johnny Rosario with Candid News.
Yes, Troy.
Hi. We were wondering whether the senator has taken a position yet on Senator Selena Nelson's bill number 226.
I can't comment on that. What I could do is I can let the senator know that you called.
Okay. Has the senator been receiving calls or fielding meetings with Gil Shinihara or Connie Joe Shinihara from the game room industry?
A meeting with who again?
Gil Shinihara or Connie Joe Shinihara?
I believe there was a talk about a meeting, yes,
Oh, really?
but I don't know if that has happened yet or not.
Okay. So have they discussed this matter on the phone?
To my knowledge, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, could you ask the senator if she could call us back? We would just like to have her position on bill number 226.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Oh, or even a meeting would be great if that's something she's available for.
For a meeting? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let her know.
Okay. And do you have my number?
You know what? That's a good question. Let me check. Well, just in case, let me go ahead and get it.
Okay. 456
456.
4237.
I'm sorry,
237.
4237.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you very much, James.
Okay, you're welcome.
You have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, James. We could ask to be a part of that meeting.
Yeah, no kidding. That second meeting.
I feel like we're doing something we shouldn't, like a kid doing things they're
I love
gonna get
that.
in trouble
Yeah.
for.
The thrill.
Yeah.
Hey, Leche Amanda. Not gonna answer our call?
Of course not. Surprised it's ringing all the way through. Surprised that it's not blocked.
Let's call that other one more time. Just very interested in this person's comments.
Cool.
Oh, this is my good side. This is my good side.
Okay. I got him.
You found it, right, Prem?
No, I downloaded the one that Troy sent me.
Oh.
These people are not going to answer our phone calls. But don't you worry, senators. I mean, the information is going to come out with or without your comments. That's just the nature of the news. If you don't want to respond, hey, that ain't our fault that your side of the story isn't coming on. We're just going to report the facts. And then we're going to talk about the facts, and then we're going to talk about you with, with or without your comments. That's just how this whole thing works in advocacy or explanatory journalism, or as our viewers call it, being real. So there is something else here. There is another facet to this entire journey to get rid of the game rooms. Now, you talked about the court path. There is a legislative path, and there's another legislative path. And this is what senators need to be careful about, especially if they're running for re-election. Now, here's where my perspective as a political person can come into play here. Senators, and Governor, if you don't pass this bill by Senator Selena Nelson, don't think that that's our plan C. No, no. It wasn't even part of our plan. Senator Selena Nelson introducing this bill was a whole surprise to us, and it was a pleasant surprise to us. Our original plan, oh, there she is. She's such a heroine. I love her. I just love her. Our whole plan was to start a referendum, was to put this matter to a vote of the people in the 2020 election. And the purpose of that plan wasn't just to get rid of the game rooms. It was to disrupt the 2020 elections and actually put measures on the ballot that would focus the entire discussion in the re-election campaign for these senators and for mayors on specific topics that are uncomfortable for you senators who have been opposed to getting rid of these gambling machines and who have been opposed to reducing the business privilege tax back to 4%. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And those aren't the only two referenda items that candidate is going to be leading. Oh, I guess we're making this announcement now. Sorry, I didn't really realize. My stomach is growling, and I need to make fried rice. But before we get to that, let me just let everyone know that thank you, Guam Election Commission, for sending us the information. We are starting a petition where we need a certain number of signatures on each measure that we're attempting to put on the ballot. We want to work with Ken Leon Guerrero because at least one of these measures coincides with his, and that is to reduce the BPT. And we're going to be taking a meeting with a certain senator on.
And the great thing about this, the fight for Guam, is even though we disagree with some people, we are willing to get together to get this done.
Yeah.
That's the great part about this. That's
Yeah.
what it feels good about it. I feel good about it.
We are even going to engage with the Guam Chamber of Commerce, who we've been very critical of in the past. But see, we have a common agenda with the reduction of the BPT back to 4%. So if our senators can't do the jobs that they were elected to do, get rid of these gambling devices that fly in the face of 3 to 4 different votes of the people that were just extraordinarily against gambling. And if they do not listen to the people about reducing taxes and doing the jobs they're elected to do and balancing a budget with a restored tax base, these measures are going on the ballot. And not just that, there's another measure going on that we're gonna try to put on the ballot. And that is to set senatorial salary rates at the minimum wage, so that senators understand what people on the minimum wage go through, so that when they talk about what the minimum wage is, they have a first-hand of experience with what the minimum wage is. It's a completely reasonable and rational idea on senatorial salaries that should be put to a vote of the people and not be discussed in the halls of the Guam legislature, since senators, and not just senators.
Even mayors, right?
Mayors too. Mayors too. You want to be public servants, that's what you call yourselves, then serve with the lowliest in our community. Be with them. Be one of them. So these are at least 3 ballot measures that candidate is going to be leading over this next year, leading into the 2020 election. And boy, those are doozies, huh? Who's that?
Will,
He called?
that's to me because it's my phone number and not yours.
Oh, you called?
Yeah.
Oh, ask him to get on our show. Or just call him.
Oh no, it's not him.
Oh. Okay, so here's the politics of this referendum idea. And I really hope it does go to this referendum, because I really do want to focus the discussion in the midterm elections on issues and not on these flimsy reasons that politicians put up in their commercials for voting for them, that, at the end of the day, voters have nothing else but these campaign commercials of platitudes to rely upon to make their decisions to vote. Really, they don't have many options when the discussion isn't focused on issues that matter to people.
Oh, and we're gonna remind people about how this first year, the second year, how it all panned out.
And what better way to do that than to have interest groups who represent the people of this island constantly focusing everyone's attention on these singular issues. What better way to lead an entire discussion? And senators, those of you seeking re-election, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, trust me when I tell you, as a political person, there is nothing you'll be able to do to steer discussion in any other kind of way unless one of you introduces an anti-abortion bill 1 month prior to the election. That's the honest to God truth. That's exactly how it's gonna go. We'll probably throw a crime thing in there to focus everyone's attention on the crime problem that has persisted during your term as senators, during this dismal term of the 35th Guam legislature and the first year of the Leon Guerrero administration. How about that? Your failure to do these things now will be your gallows on election day. And you're gonna let a flimsy little news organization like Candid News lead the entire discussion of election politics leading into the November 2020 election just because you refuse to answer some simple questions about issues on this island and rectify some simple problems just because your pockets are being lined by Gil and Connie Jo Shinihara? Or you have some sort of blind loyalty to a governor who does not give a rat's butt about any of you or any of the people of this island. You're going to allow your election, your re-election hopes and dreams to be dashed by people who don't give two flying F's about you. Well, we'll make this matter simple. We'll focus the discussion for the electorate. We'll help to do that with these referendum items, and trust me when I say this will work. Now, the last time I was involved in a senatorial election, because I hate senatorial elections, they're so boring and they're so mundane. But there are ways to make them very special and very exciting. And let me tell you a little story. It was the 2016 election, senatorial election. And I told Governor Calvo I was not going to get involved again in the senatorial election because, well, they're boring. And there are better things to do with the time of the administration. And I didn't want to concentrate on the 2016 senatorial elections. But then this guy from Senator Narissa Underwood's office complained about a social media post that I put up, which simply complained about Senator Narissa Underwood turning her back on John Fernandez. This was during the time that John Fernandez was getting himself into a lot of trouble over at DOE, and Narissa Underwood and Judy Wampat were clamoring to get rid of him as the superintendent of education. Narissa was leading the way. Judy Wampat was supporting her and everything.
With the broomstick?
Yeah, and her cauldron. And so on the administration side, I was leading the PR effort to help John, and it was all professional and everything. And then Narissa Underwood's chief of staff, she was a senator at the time, decided to call my boss or leave a message with my boss that I should be suspended from work because I violated the government of Guam's social media policy. And I was like, how did I violate the government of Guam's social media policy? Apparently me having an opinion about his boss that was adversarial to his boss, he felt was a violation of the government of Guam's social media policy. And I thought, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I bet you that guy regretted
So I call. So
I bet you.
oh, hold on. Hello.
Yes, I'm returning the phone call.
Hi, Senator Taitano.
Yes.
Hi, this is Troy Torres and Johnny Rosario.
Oh, hello.
Hi. We're calling regarding Vice Speaker Talita Nelson's Bill 226, and we're wondering where you stand on the issue.
Well, I'm glad you're reminding me about that. That's the one. I need to look at it and read it through. But I was wanting to get more information on those issues. I wanted to also reach out to some of the people at the social work program at UOG to get
Okay.
some of their understandings about how those issues are affecting our community.
Okay.
So I am still gathering information on that as I'm weighing issues out.
Okay. Well, so that's an excellent thing to be reaching out to the especially social workers who have experience in this issue. We're very heartened that is something that you will be doing. But we're wondering whether anyone from the other side of this issue, the game room side, has contacted you to express their information or, well, to lobby you to not support Vice Speaker Nelson's bill.
No, as far as I know, and there may be information that hasn't been passed on to me yet, but as far as I know, nobody has reached out to me to lobby actually one way or the other.
Okay. Now, in your campaign expenditures and contributions report, it does show that Connie Jo Shinhara, who is one of the game room owners, has been a contributor to your campaign. Is this something that you're going to be able to weigh out that, well, would seem to be a little bit of a conflict of interest in making your decision?
Well, with that, I don't remember exactly what she contributed, but with the amount, it would have been $80 or $100 or $200. It would have been somewhere in that ballpark from what I remember off the top of my head. So, I mean, regardless, I would never take money that I felt would conflict me at all.
Okay.
And I've worked really hard to make sure that my decisions are just as much as I can having the fact base, meaning as much as I can get to the facts and understand them and interpret them as the best of my ability.
Thank you, Senator. So there are a bunch of people who have experiences going into these game rooms and losing a lot, and they have a lot to say and would like to express these concerns of theirs to their senators. Is it okay for us to pass along your office contact information so that they can speak with you about this as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're supposed to be accessible, and so that information is public, and continuing to make it public is certainly the right thing to do.
Okay.
And it's important that we hear from all sectors, and that's part of why I want to reach out to social workers, the social work program. So in the social work program, my understanding is that they gain a lot of overview data about how these affect people at the grassroots level, what are the bigger picture, but they should be able to have those kind of stories, but also the statistics of what we need to weigh out.
Are you aware that there currently is no gambling addiction therapist on this island or program? There's not one single private or public program to deal with gambling addiction on Guam.
Well, that would be something that would be good to be looking at for our behavioral health programs. I think we had also learned, one of the things that we need to do is just to continue to be building up the different programs that are important for our community. And that's going to be a never-ending journey. I mean, society always shapes, our challenges always continue to shift in their shape as well. And so we need to be continuing to find out what the issues are and how we can be best addressing them. So if it doesn't exist and it's considered a need, then certainly we should be looking to address it.
Well, I can tell you, Senator, that it is a big problem on this island, especially in the black market, and its sister relationship to drug addiction on Guam. I can tell you that personally. And so with that in mind, or with your comments in mind, would you consider, if it came up, or if it came up from yourself as a senator, legislative funding or legislative appropriation for a gambling addiction program?
Well, absolutely. If there's a need like that, and there are always so many needs that we have to be working towards, and so it sounds like you're saying that that's a need. It will be like I said, to be continuing to gather facts and data. And to hear about this issue. I mean, that's one of the things that we need to do is have our ears open and make sure that we're hearing about all kinds of situations that may not have been in our own personal experience, but are important for the community. And so we're here to listen. We need to know these stories that are affecting people or these issues that are affecting people. And then I'm a big believer in trying to find resolutions. So definitely if there is bound to be a need, and if within the government is the best place to have that handled, then it should be one of the many things that we're out there looking to support.
And one final question from me, at least, is will you, at the very least, support the movement of Senator Nelson's bill onto the full legislative floor after a public hearing, of course, so that it can receive the full consideration of the legislature?
I believe so. I mean, I can't imagine trying to obstruct anything from being heard. So I just can't. I can't conceive of any reason why I would change my approach. And like you said, it should have a public hearing, and then as things move forward, if that's the direction it goes in, then it should continue on its path.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
All right.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, Senator Kelly Marsh Taitino, for returning our call and for answering our questions. Now, so a recap on that is that she does not have a position yet in Bill number 226. She is going to be reaching out to social workers to ask them about the impacts.
Who has issues with this game room, whether big or small, email her, call her office, go down there, talk to her, because apparently Canada has it on good authority that the other side of this bill is contacting all of the senators, lobbying them.
Yeah.
Probably making promises for their campaign signs, for
Chairs and canopies.
money from here, this employee
'Cause they're
500 here.
friends.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Same old stuff, same old stuff. We need to call one more senator about something.
No ringing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, it's not ringing anyway. Went straight to voicemail. We'll call that senator offline and ask her that question. Can I have one of those chocolates?
Yeah, there's ants, though. Red ants in it.
I'm fine. This is protein.
You can have it.
Thanks. So, oh my God, these are so good. What was I saying?
You're going to call her offline.
Oh, no, about that. Oh, the referendum thing. Oh, so I was talking about Senator Narissa Underwood.
Yeah.
The point of this story is how easy it is to affect a senatorial election. They're mundane. They are rather boring, especially when there's no gubernatorial election involved. But nonetheless,
Oh, this next election, it's not going to be boring.
They're very easy to disrupt with
We
issues.
can candidate will guarantee that it will not be boring.
So, Narissa Underwood's chief of staff went after me and said that he wanted Mark Powell to call him because of me breaching, because I should be either suspended or fired from my job for violating GovBomb's
I bet you marked like,
social media
or
policy.
what's his name? What's the person's name?
The person over at Narissa Underwood's office, James Servino.
Yeah, I bet he regretted that.
So, so I was like, oh, really? All right, thanks, Mark. And Mark was laughing about it, right? And so I was like, Mark, I'll take care of this. Don't you worry. And so I called up James Servino, and all of a sudden, he's not available to speak to the
course.
governor's office about this issue. And so I continuously called back until he would get on the phone. And I got tired of it. I maybe like 20 times. This is all within like an hour. Like the 20th time I called, because I was like, "Wait, is he available yet? Is he available yet?" I said, "You know what? Never mind." I was cussing too, and I can't cuss because we'll get kicked off of Facebook. I was like, "F it. Let me talk to Senator Narissa Underwood." And they said, it was my cousin Scott who worked at, who was working there at the time. He was the one who answered the phone. And I was like, you know what? They said, oh, she's in the middle of a public hearing. I said, you know what? You tell Senator Narissa Underwood that if she doesn't get on the phone right now to address this matter that her office started, I am going to put all over Facebook what just happened. And believe me when I tell you that ain't going to be pretty. And so a minute later, Senator Narissa Underwood calls me up. She says, "Hi, Troy." What is going on? I just got out of a public hearing, or I just left a public hearing to call you back because we're friends.
Oh.
And I was like, well, Narissa, since we're friends, I want to know why your office is trying to have me fired for using my freedom of speech and expression to criticize you about this John Fernandez thing. And she says, well, you know, don't mind. She said, don't mind what James did that without my knowledge. I said, how does your chief of staff do that without your knowledge? I don't understand, because it sounds like it's coming directly from you, Narissa. And so I read her the riot act. I yell and I cuss.
Of course.
And I told her, I said, you're going to pay for this. And so I walked in to the governor's chambers. I said, Governor, I tell him what happened. He laughs. And I tell him, Governor, I changed my mind. I'm getting involved in the legislative election. I said, but this is a very focused thing, Governor. I'm just getting involved about Narissa Underwood and Judy Wonpat. I'm not going to be involved in like trying to promote any Republicans. They can do that on their own. They're supposed to be smart people, and they're supposed to do their own job in promoting themselves. And if they want to hire us, we don't have any time for it. So I'm just going to do this. It's just Narissa and Judy Wonpat. And 2 months later, they lost the general election. Yeah. So they were wondering. They knew where the negative attacks were coming from. And it was all issue-based, all issue-driven about that John Fernandez
Did you
issue.
ever talk to the James Servino guy?
No, he never called me.
Oh.
He never called me. Whenever he saw me at a function, he would run the other way. Idiot. What an idiot. Cost his boss an election. Oh, got it. Thanks. Yeah, we're almost done. We're just about done. Thanks. So, the moral of the story is, senators, if you pussyfoot around this whole issue about the game rooms, you're going to pay for it in the general election. It's just as simple as that. Then there's the BPT. If you guys don't figure it out, you're going to pay for it at the general election. It really is that simple.
And it's sad if the footwork's not happening now because they're waiting till that time, Troy. You know?
We're not amateurs at this game.
Oh, I am.
No, she's not.
I am.
She's really good at it. And it ain't just us. We're not the only ones who are mad. No, we're not the only ones. Don't think we're messing around with this. We're not playing around with anything on this matter. It's a very serious deal. And those of you in the political world understand our capabilities. Don't pussyfoot. Good afternoon, Guam.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us in our phone calls. And do you want to go over comments?
Oh, yes. I love comments.
You got 3 minutes to do comments.
Yes, this is true. Hi, Sarah Phyllis Camacho. We love you. Hi, Ray Dunca and Monica. Brad Hewitt says, let the court do their job, which is to interpret the law. Let the legislature make the law. The court should not be making law. This is about the gambling thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason that the two entities can't move forward with their business. In case the court doesn't rule properly on the current law, the lawmaking body already has an ace bill up their sleeve, all ready to become law. Oh, Brad was pushing for us to call Pedo. But he already said no.
He already said no. He's not for the bill.
Lance D said they are watching, that's why they aren't answering.
Yes, he did just admit to a meeting, Connie Shinahara, right? Gil Shinahara?
Yeah.
With Luis Muñoz?
Yes, that was Luis Muñoz, chief of staff.
I forgot his name. I'm not good with names.
I forgot to. Hi, Vince Cruz. Hi, Maria Gutierrez. Hi, Janice Asano, who's laughing. Brad Hewitt calls it the Guam Chamber of Crony Capitalism. That's it. But in this case, we're going to be helping each other out because we both believe in rolling back that PPT. Brad Hewitt says, Johnny, that's the other will. Hi, Viv. Hi, Leabeth. Brad says, no one F's politically with Troy. Troy does the effing. Hi, Eileen. TD says, AKA it's in progress. Brad Hewitt says, oh, hello, Shizzo. Glad you reminded me. What a fence-straddling bag of hot air. Kelly Lizama says, that means no. They're talking about the call with Senator Kelly Saisino. TD, or to pay you large sums of money. There's no conflict if the money is her interest. Hi, Myrna. Hi, Kelly Lizama, who says, nice spin. That's regarding the call with the senator. Brad Hewitt says, interpretation, Shinahara has got to come to the meeting with a few $1,000 in an envelope, then it's game on. Eileen Solosa says, Lord God, whatever is going on in the midst of some senators reveal the truth to Troy and Johnny, who's fighting for our people's lives. Nothing is impossible for you. Amen.
Amen.
Brad says, gambling addiction is a bigger need than stupid environmental BS that she puts her attention towards. The tree.
The grassroots.
CD says we need more than for our senators to believe. Lance D says, good answer. TD says, money signs 5 times. Eileen says, our governor and some senators are contaminating our island. Yes, Johnny, you hit the bullseye. Titania Nauta says, Hoffaday, Johnny and Troy. Hoffaday.
Hi.
Hi, John Salas. Brad Hewitt says, Pedo got to be on the Shizzo list. Brad says, on Guam, single-issue voters can make or break a candidate for senator. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's at election time. And what better way to do that than with a referendum on single issues? Hi, John Tavares. Hi, Carl Blas, who says Hoffaday. Doreen says, buenas. Hi, Doreen Pangolinan. James Howard joined us. Brad Hewitt says, kicked off Facebook for cussing. Well, kiss my arse. It's okay for Russians to F around with fake accounts, but a news commentary video gets shut down. Complete nonsense. Can you please tell Mark Zuckerberg that? And he is looking like Walking Dead these days, like he's a heroin addict. And I'm glad our congressman took him to town during that congressional hearing of the Financial Services Committee, where he is the vice chairman of that committee. Some pretty powerful stuff. So thank you, Congressman Mike St. Nicholas, for taking Mark Zuckerberg to town. Jonathan Lamelo says, buenas from Texas. John Torrey Mancinonia joined. Brad Hewitt says, likewise here in the great state. Lance D says, James is his name. Oh, yeah, James. Oh, my gosh. I wonder if that's James Servino who we talked to. That'd be too funny. Hi, Jay Speed and Raf Unpinko. James Howard says, Troy, please mention KLG meeting with Decalcomania. Board meeting 3 p.m. So at 3 p.m., Ken Leon Grow is going live. That's in 23 minutes. We'll be paying attention to that.
Maybe that's supposed to be decolonization board meeting.
Oh, okay. So 3 p.m., let's join Ken Leon Guerrero on his page. Vincent James F. Cruz. I met the cutest little boy who I think is my nephew.
I saw the picture.
Venancio Cruz yesterday at Guam Memorial Hospital. His mom had to get checked for something. Anyway, so the Cruzes, very nice to meet you. And Venancio.
Yeah, he's been
we love
asking
you
me
very
to
much.
tell you to accept your friend request.
I did.
Oh, you deleted somebody in order to accept the request?
No, I think people have been deleting me because I had like room for 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
people are unfriending you?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Good for them.
Thanks for making room.
Yeah, appreciate it. TD says, haha, pussyfooters, Biba, Troy, and Johnny. Carl Bloss says, weird time for back here, stay safe, candid. It's all the fires, right? Helen Mancinonia says, buenas, Troy and Johnny. Buenas, and James Howard says, thanks, Troy, run in Guam. Oh.
Tune in Guam. Tune in Guam.
Tune in Guam. It's like, I cannot run right now. I have pneumonia. Thank you, Guam, for joining us. Good afternoon. We'll see you tonight.